Okay folks, here we have one of my Keech banjo ukuleles that I'm going to be selling on eBay. It's just come out of my workshop. It's by Keech and it's a long scale model. Basically identical to the standard, this is actually a Model C, but this is a standard size Keech ukulele, sometimes called a soprano. And this here is a long scale. You play it exactly the same, it's a little bit longer and the drum is a little bit wider, which makes it easier to play for people with like bigger fingers, or if you've been used to a guitar, because these between the two frets is a wider space. See that? So you can form the chords a lot easier, and also the sound is slightly more mellow. Anyway, I'll go through it for you. Yeah, you've got the Keech logo here, and although this was about 1924, this is one of the early ones, because on the back it says Banjo patent applied for. Can you see that? You'll see it in the pictures anyway. So this is pre-patent Keech, which makes it pretty old. And just below it you've got LA, which means long scale, and it's a Model A. The connection with the Keech to George Formby is quite interesting. A lot of people don't realise that although Keech invented the banjolele, or banjo ukulele, and he used to sell them down the West End, and of course he was very famous for them, they were actually made in the Dallas factory, and Dallas banjo ukes were endorsed by George Formby. So you've got the best of all the worlds here. Keech, made by Dallas, endorsed by George Formby, the Dallas brand. I'll go through. It's got the original tuners on, which I've taken off and oiled them a little bit and put washers in so they work more smoothly. Sorted out the nut so there's no buzzing and the space is just correct. Frets are nice. Then the action I've adjusted to give a very low action for those of you who want to do George Formby type strumming. But also I supply a bridge, higher bridge, so you can change the action. The lower the action, the easier it is to strum, but if you want it a bit louder, then you can just get a slightly higher bridge. It's got a resonator on the back, really nice wood, and it's got little holes in, so you can adjust the tension through the holes. Underneath there are the nuts joined to these tensioners. It's got 8 tensioners, which is more than enough. Also, which is nice, see these spaces between the drum and the resonator, they sort of get bigger as it goes towards there. That's meant to be. I think they think it improves the sound, but it's a feature of the Keech. That also very nice is the tailpiece. Can you see that there? And it protects your arm when you're strumming, but also nice, you flick it like this, put the strings on and then close it up. That's quite sweet, that. I've got my own designed strings on. They're coloured. They're quite lightweight and thin gauge, which they don't hurt your fingers so much and don't give you that sharp sound that some of the banjo ukes give you. They're different colours, so you can distinguish between the, rather than point to this string here and call it the 4th string, you can just call it the yellow string, so it's easy for people to sort of distinguish. Got a nice 3-legged ebony top bridge, you can see there, and I like these models very much. I don't like the new models, the new banjo ukes, very much, and I also find some of the top of the range ones like Dallas D, which I've got, and Ludwig's, which are really beautifully made, very expensive, but I find them a bit loud. These are more mellow, what I call a mid-range banjo ukes, but I think it's easier to make a quieter uke sound loud than it is to make a modern loud uke sound quiet. I'll show you what I mean. If you strum normally, I strum about here. If you strum like that on a modern uke, it's going to just sound loud. But if you want to make this quieter uke sound louder, you just move it up towards the bridge and just strum harder. So quiet. Then if you want it louder, quiet, loud. and it's quite a nice feature of these ukes. Anyway, this is tuned to G, C, E, A, which is standard tuning, but you can tune it higher to the what they call a D tuning, which is used by George Formby. The higher tuning projects it more, because in the old days they didn't have microphones in all venues. I'll tune it to the George Formby tuning and we'll see what it sounds like. So the G goes to A, the C goes to D, the E goes to F sharp, and the A goes to B. So that will give out more volume, or it'll project it further. I'll just strum a few things, see what it sounds like. That's quite sweet, isn't it? Anyway, if you've got any queries or want to ask any questions, just get in touch with jasperhappy@hotmail.com. Check this out on eBay, and good luck. Thank you.